I don't think that they would actually begin to announce their plans to rescue. I don't know how the military operates to the extent that they would want to bring out their best to rescue the situation. Because right now, the most embarrassed people right now are the Nigerian military, together with the president. And for the ordinary Nigerian watching helplessly is that if this can happen to a high-ranking soldier of that category, a major general, and he who died, they didn't rescue him in 2 days, not even in 1 week. And then he had to die helplessly from complications of whatever. And then, let's look at the dynamics of the environment in which these bandits operate, unhindered. And especially in that Katsina state.
I'm not stopping you, but I just want to add this. How does this speak to, because, okay, the military says, this has further strengthened our resolve.
Oh, no.
So how does this speak to the ability of security agencies, our military, to tackle insecurity, particularly
it doesn't speak anything
at the level?
It doesn't speak anything. It is time the military stopped, and not only the military, and the presidency stopped this unnecessary, useless Jing0ism about condemnation, about resolution, and doing nothing. Things that can be done that are not rocket science. Yet they do nothing about it, and then they come and make sweet statements. I don't want to be angry on national television.
You can't help.
I am very, very sad.
Angry, I mean.
Now the point is this. For goodness sake.
You said things that can be done.
Yeah, a whole lot of things.
What are
this president, for goodness sake, I would implore this president to simply take a look at immediate history. We once had, learn from either General Obasanjo, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, President Obasanjo, or President Jonathan. President Obasanjo, was a responsible president. He tackled any form of insecurity. You feared the Nigerian state, whoever you were at that time. Whether you were killing soldiers in Udi or in or Zakibiam, you feared because you knew that there would be consequences. Or you, as President Tinubu, learn from a president like Goodluck Jonathan, who is currently living his life in regret, not exercising his powers as president. In deploying and fighting against insecurity. This president will also live in regret if he doesn't in the next 6 months do the things that are drastic. Take drastic measures beyond all of these useless statements.
I asked you, what drastic measures are you talking about?
First of all, let us have some practical, pragmatic state of emergency in several states across the country where these governors have not only failed in providing security, but working against concerted efforts by the military or the federal government in providing security. I expect, look, no court yet. We don't understand the impact. No, for goodness.
The state governors.
What are you talking? No, what are you talking about? Is this not Katsina State? A state government that sanctioned negotiations with bandits who came to Katsina State wearing the uniform of the Assistant Commissioner of Police that they killed. And please, I don't want to get emotional on this. This is a state government endorsing bandits, and now this state government could not, manage the rescue or the kidnap of a military general. And that the president will say, you see, the biggest problem is the normalcy that follows this shock. So what happens? Why can't the president declare a state of emergency on this matter and then be pragmatic? Let me tell you.
Interviewed some who are proponents of a state of emergency. It is not. Yes, tried to do that at a point in time, and his Attorney General then told him,
of course,
do this.
No. The highly respected, most learned senior governor of Nigeria, Bello Edoke SCN, was correct indeed. You will not have to suspend the governor, but please declare a state of emergency and move your troops there to restore order. The existence of your country as president is being threatened, and you are playing politics. You could declare a state of emergency in Rivers State because Wike's interest was threatened, and then people are dying to the extent that your own general, please, we are on national television, your own general was killed in that manner, and things are normal. Nigerians will take it. How many generals have died in the last 6 months in this country? Look, for goodness sake, where's the peer review among presidents? Doesn't our president recognize that other presidents are watching him? The whole world is watching us, making us a laughing stock. If this, as was told to me, was happening to another neighboring African country, what would be our reactions as Nigerians? Look, wait. The point is that why can't the president simply, take over the states? No court in Nigeria has told him how not to declare or how to operate a state of emergency. He may not have a suspend. Like the difference here is that we have state governors that are working, that are in cahoots, that are tolerant of this situation. And you can see now that it is affecting everybody. It's affecting it's affecting even the airlines most because they can't travel across Nigeria anymore. These kidnappers have abandoned regular business. They've seen how much kidnapping pays. Talking to the general recently, and he told me that the kidnapping economy, the ransom economy has seen to the payment of ransom in the trillions, nearly 2 trillions in the last few years. So who would abandon that kind of economy? And Nigeria is just dormant and not. You see, the president. See, I am for supporting the president. Shame to all of those politicians who think they want to take advantage of this situation to abuse the president or criticize him. They should be ashamed. This is the time for all of us to come together. He is president as a matter of authority, but he fails. Okay, he fails to use his responsibility. There is a whole lot of things he can do. The Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, I just want to bring this in because recently, again, this is Rabe dying, but just in Zamfara, 19 farmers dead. Okay, just that way, and they just came in shooting sporadically. So hold on, and you're wondering where was the security? But the Minister of Defense, Musa, is saying there are plans on the way to embed civil society actors and activists in Nigeria's counter-terrorism operations to give them first-hand experience. What do you make of this? Oh, well, he doesn't need to do that, but he's forced to say that when activists, maybe like me and others in the street, make very unrealistic statements. It depends on what you mean. I'm not from goodness. No, hold on. You talk as if because they should hold government accountable. You can't, when people are dying in this country, you have freedom of expression. Yeah. Look, but you also have to speak responsibly and correctly. Good. To think that we make sweeping statements that we don't have a military. If we don't have a military, why are we sitting down here? Look, let's appreciate the small efforts that is still keeping this country together. And then you're taking that phrase literally. No, what the person could be saying is that they are not performing at optimal. So the question is, why are they not? Because as we talk about, they want to leave here. Who is General Musa in this scheme of things? Minister of Defense. Yeah. But who is the Commander-in-Chief? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yeah. What is he supposed to do? What are his advisors telling him? What is he supposed to do that he has not been doing? That should be the question. And again, this calls for some measure, and I pray, and I've always asked for some national unity, not national disintegration, making the bandits to win on all sides, causing serious trauma to the population, and again, now destabilizing the political situation in this country. We shouldn't allow that. Let me bring this into the equation, because some are of the view, Rabe is dead, 19 farmers are dead. In Oyo State, school children were kidnapped. A teacher's neck was beheaded. And then there's the question of rehabilitation of the bandits, of the terrorists. Some people, what's your concept of that? Let me tell you. Yeah. Wasn't it our former President Goodluck Jonathan who declared that there were Boko Haram members in his government? So you think that there were no Boko Haram members or insurgents and their sympathizers in the Nigerian military? Or in the security system or in government at all. So don't we see this language? Don't we hear their rhetorics? Don't we see their moves? Doesn't the president see these things? But the president doesn't do anything. He hasn't got the courage to take out anybody, to prosecute anybody. Have we not seen members of the National Assembly be accused of directly funding terrorists and insurgents and bandits and kidnappers in this country? As the president brought them to book, the president is in charge of the police. The president is in charge of the state secret service. For goodness sake, look, unfortunately, the president has a whole lot to do. bandits use motorcycles. I mean, for goodness sake, stop the use of motorcycles temporarily and let's see what happens. All right. I mean, strangulate them in terms of finances. This is getting too much. Mr. President has the powers, and I think he needs to focus.
Use your powers.
People have look, we should have some purge, even in the military, whatever it is. Stop the economics of kidnapping. It's unfortunate.
Thank you so much, Frank TieTie, Arise analyst and lawyer, who apparently is not just taking this kindly. All right.